Namaskar and welcome to this exciting show, Sathology Debunking Mythology. There are so many mythologies going around in the world that it now it is difficult for people to know what was a real history and what is a fake. So the colonial powers created so much fake history in the planet, and so virtually you can question everyone, including including great historical personalities, whether they were there or not. So today I have a very special person, my very good friend, one of my oldest friends, and I've invited him to give a talk, and he's joining us from the capital of yoga, and that is Rishikesh, India. So those of you who do not know about Rishikesh, Google it out, Rishikesh, and you'll find it. Today we are covering a very unique topic which we have never done in the past: relationships. The world lives on relationships, and this gentleman has made his career on relationships and his beginnings on different aspects of relationships. So, without delay, let us welcome Vivek. Grow with Vivek.
Namaste.
Namaskar, and welcome to Sathology Show. So today,
Thank you.
with Vivek ji, and I know you for a very long time, and I was very excited when you started this on Instagram, and I think you're pretty popular there. And so today, the Grow with Vivek has become a brand, and we have the brand owner right here. So tell us something very briefly. What do you understand by relationships?
My understanding about a relationship is it's like mutual contribution to each other life, and this mutual contribution is very much required because on our own sometimes we find very difficult to go on in life. So this mutual relationship is sometimes people don't know the dynamics that how they have to understand the emotional needs of the another person. So one of the most important learning which I have understood that different people have different emotional needs. Different people have different way of looking at things. And because we think in a certain way, we want certain things in our life. So we also think that another person also may be happy if we give that person to something like that or fulfill that particular need. But before contributing to a relationship, we need to understand that what kind of need that person has. And then when you make an investment or contribution in that relationship, then actually that person feel that I have been valued, I have been understood, I have been listened, I have been taken care. So my understanding of relationship is mutual contribution only after you understand what that person actually looking for and feel valuable.
No, great points and a great starting points you have. And I'll go a little bit behind that. And since Sathology is focused on historical narratives and building a relationship with a book, sometimes, it's a very uh, abstractly I'm saying that. But once you build a relationship with the topics also, with the books also, and the past historical personalities also, do you think that is possible for the human mind?
Absolutely possible because at least because relationship also based on taking inspiration because there are different ways we benefit from relationships. So if we develop the relationship from the past historical personalities, whether is whichever kind of culture, there are some great personalities that happened. Like in India, the Vedic history has such amazing personalities where if you develop connection with them and start reading about them, start thinking about them, meditating about them, then the inspiration actually can change the whole personality. Like in every walk of life, if I want to be in computer field, so there are some people whom I can take inspiration, because say like Mac, Apple. So definitely I would like to take some inspiration from Steve Jobs or somebody like that. So that particular qualities we absorb when you develop a relationship with a book, when we develop some people in the book. And unfortunately what happens, sometimes people develop relationship with the kind of people which don't uplift them in those inspiration. But if you go to the Vedic scriptures and you see the people where people have done so much sacrifice in the relationships, so then you develop those values to do similar kind of thing in your life also. Because basically we need example, real life example, and also the examples in the past. And this is what happens when you connect with the book, and especially the personalities in the past.
No, what a great answer, because people feel that, and especially, even though we are living in a social media world, but people are getting lonelier than ever before. And
Yes.
it is a phenomena in the US, it's phenomena in India, everywhere else. We are crowded, but we are still alone. Like Atal Bihari Vajpayee, the former Prime Minister of India, had said in a poem that I am crowded when alone, and when I'm alone when I'm crowded. So that's a real situation everywhere. And
That's true.
these relationships are such a deep topic, not only with the history also, like when you love a topic and you get into deep into that. Particularly in our channel, we try to get deep into, we call Ramayana, Mahabharata, and all the Vedic culture mythology. We don't call it as mythology, but treating them as truth. Now relationship starts building. So do you think this kind of value, the truth and honesty, is an important principle in any relationship?
Truth and honesty is definitely very important. More than the truth and honesty, I feel we should begin with a level of transparency. And truth and honesty is a very subjective word, because sometimes truth has to be spoken based on the time, place, and circumstance. Because the another person is not in a condition to handle the truth which I'm going to talk about. So sometimes people just don't understand how much to speak, when to speak, and in which tone and mood to speak. And they see I'm just straightforward, I don't care. But you have to care in relationship whether that person can handle that situation. Like, say, very simple example, if I have my very close relative who is like abroad or like another country, and going through a very tough medical situation, and somebody just tell me and immediately say that person has passed away, I may not be able to handle it immediately, because emotionally I may be so attached to that person. Instead of that, if I have been told that person is going through some tough medical situation, please come as soon as possible. And then when you reach there, then things are revealed. So truth and honesty is very much required, but it has to be spoken in a very, sensitive way. The words which we are using, and the time which we are using, and I feel it has to be applied very carefully. And if you see the scriptures, even Indian scriptures, you will find many situations like that. That how much was spoken and which tone was spoken, and sometimes some right person is chosen to speak that particular truth. Because sometimes relationship matters in speaking the truth. The same thing is spoken by someone who is very close to you. You take it in a different way when somebody else tells it, because you feel that this person is doing something for me,
No,
and it
you
is good.
said you said something very important on the subjective part of it, that the truth is subjective, and many people, they try to make truth as objective, and now there is a problem there with the digestion. Whether truth can be digested by all, that's a big problem. Uh, because truth can be, like you said, it has to be digested by the person's emotions, and truth has to be digested by. It's a lot of factors there, a lot of factors, not just spoken directly. Now, I'll ask you one thing.
No.
Truth spoken concisely is eloquence, or it is a disturbance?
Truth is spoken concisely is both, according to me. Is eloquence also, and what you said, second word? Uh,
Or a disturbance, or
that's or disturbance. Yeah, sorry, so I just forgot the word. Eloquence or disturbance. It depends on the, again, I would say, the state of the mind of the another person. Hmm. Truth may be spoken concisely, maybe eloquence for somebody who can appreciate that truth. And we need eligibility to appreciate a truth, like, say, if I am not a doctor, if I am not an engineer, and if I have been spoken some very heavy medical terms, Even if it is eloquence, I'm not going to appreciate it. And even in relationship, it happens many times. Sometimes you just speak it in a very eloquently, the words, just putting the words in the right way, in an eloquent way, doesn't guarantee that this will not disturb another person, because disturbance is based on the emotional state of the what is the mind state of the person is. So actually a person is intelligent, he will not just focus that what I'm going to talk and how eloquently I'm going to talk. First that person will connect with individual, even a group coaching, first you connect with the kind of audience you have in front of you. You just don't start talking because you have some knowledge and you have some truth with you. So truth has to be given eloquently, definitely, but it has to be given also very carefully. Otherwise, it will create a lot of disturbance in the society. And
You
that's
know,
what is happening today. So much information is available, and people just reading anything and everything, and they don't have the ability to handle it.
I have been in the big startup world and seen many things. The great startups don't fail because they didn't have the great products. And I'm extending this relationship to the companies as well. The big startups have failed because the people inside the startups did not know how to cooperate.
Wow, beautiful.
And it did not. It's always the human problem. Human is always the problem. It's not the machines. People had great technologies, and unfortunately people miss the most important part, which is the relationships, because that is what makes anything succeed and anyone succeed. What do you have to say on that?
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with you, because if you have a startup, and a startup generally, you have some two, three people together, which comes together and start something. And if they don't have the enough love and trust among themselves, so then it's not going to work, because technology and even the best of the products, because any startup takes time, it goes through ups and downs of phases. And when you're going ups and down phases, you'd have to have your team members or the founder members who actually have the ability to communicate the truth, understanding the situation, and supporting each other. I mean, startup is I think the best example, I think, to understand the power of relationships actually. So if we have the right kind of communication among partners or the founders or the even the employees, it's going to succeed. There's no doubt about it. Otherwise they fail mostly like that. I totally agree with you.
You hit a very important point over there. Communicate. And my experience has been communicate, 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 and
Okay.
sometimes discuss. Because but keep communication open all the time, whether it's a good, bad, ugly, but keep speaking, keep telling your mind. Now, one another aspect which comes to my mind with the communication is, and I think since this is our first discussion, we might go into detail into some other discussions. The entire Mahabharata and Ramayana, if you look at them as a history, fantastic communication. I mean, without internet, without email, without any WhatsApp, without any Viber, without phones, but communication is amazing. Whether it's a Krishna to Yudhishthir, or Yudhishthir to Pandava, or Arjun to Kaurava, communication is everywhere there. How come they were able to achieve such well communicated systems without any communication tools that they had, but had the best results possible? What do you think?
See, the tools don't make you a good communicator, as like PowerPoint presentation doesn't make you a good speaker. It's the it's
Great
the
example.
ability to it's ability to put your words in the right way. And I'm again and again emphasizing on only one part, that what to communicate. People nowadays type so much on the messages and they talk so much, but what will impact the another person, so before communicating we need to first understand whom we are communicating, you
Exactly.
know what
Exactly.
kind of ability that person has, what kind of situation that person is right now. And
Yes.
that's what people forget nowadays, because they think they have the power of communicating, they can just say anything, they can just talk anything, they can just type anything. It doesn't work.
It doesn't work. Doesn't work at all. And that's the problem. You said so well that the PowerPoint presentation doesn't mean you're a great communicator or a listener too. And so despite people think that building a PowerPoint slides, they're communicating, but I think communication is a different science altogether than just a slide or something.
Yeah, I have one my personal example. When I started giving my talks, I used to spend a lot of time on making PowerPoints and all that. But then I realized it's a distraction for me actually, because it doesn't allow me to interact with my people more. I'm not against PPTs because it's actually give you pictures and all that. But I personally feel when I'm able to connect with my audience by interacting and understanding what state of mind they are in, that helps me better to serve them. So similarly in communication also, tools are tools. Tools cannot substitute the uh, emotions which we are dealing with in relationship and teamwork. It's all about emotions.
So you said very important thing about tools are tools, and when we look at our philosophy and we say we are a spirit soul and the body is a tool. So and now taking it to a different level, and we're talking ourselves as spirit, soul, and body as a tool, and body is communicating. So see, the spiritual dimension comes in, and in spiritual dimension, whether you're from US or Canada or India or Africa or any other continent on the planet or even China today, but still there is a common need common need to be recognized, common need to be appreciated, common need to be empathized with, common need to be spoken to. Very simple things spoken. There are many people I know in US, nobody has told them, how are you? For months, years.
Really? I'm so sorry to
Exactly.
hear that.
The very lonely people. You're talking about US, I'm talking about India also. There are many people, we go and say hi, hello, and all kinds of things we do. But sometimes we don't ask a very simple question: what's going on with your life? What can I do? It's a very simple question, but it can be a very deep question for some people because they have never been cared for. So, do you think that relationships can sustain without that? We have to go out of our shells to do that. What do you have to say on that?
Relationships, see, when we are talking about relationships here, relationships have a different level. Different if we are in the bodily platform, so we have to interact on the bodily platform. If we have a mental platform, emotional platform, so we need emotional fulfillment. One of the main needs which I have in my life is like acceptance. I need to accept myself, and I feel very happy when others accept me. If they accept me as a body, I'm happy about it. At least they have accepted some part of me. If somebody has accepted the part of my emotional strength or emotional situation, then I'm so happy about it. Doesn't mean that if I am a soul, I am not a body. Soul is sitting inside the body, but body is also a tool. It's a very important tool. It's a machine right now we are dealing with. And when I said tools are tools, I can say body is body, but you have to take care of the tool.
That's
But
true.
at the same time, you cannot say that I don't take care of the tool and I'm the tool. Hmm? So that is the problem. People go to extremes, that is the problem in life. Somebody who thinks I'm not the soul, I'm the body, is just focusing on the body. That is also not right. And somebody says I'm not the body, I'm the soul, but actually you're the soul sitting inside the body. So my very direct answer to it is, tools are tools, but we need to take care of the tools, and relationships are at different levels actually. And we have to connect ourselves at different times with different people in different situations, because sometimes we are in the bodily situation where body is aching, and somebody comes and tells me, sir, you're not the body. It doesn't work, because body is a tool. I need to take care of the body. If I have mental pain and somebody gives me a philosophy that it's all mental, I mean, it may be mental, but I am mind also. So take care of my mind. So this is like, running away from the reality. So it doesn't work.
That's true.
Reality is both.
Absolutely,
There's
absolutely.
temporary reality and there's eternal reality, but we have to deal with both of them.
But you just giving me points to talk to you more, temporal and eternal. Now, but our time is short today for this
No
session.
problem.
But
Next.
viewers, keep watching. I'm going to bring Grow with Vivek again, and we will have more discussions with him on relationships, because I think that's one thing all of us are ignoring. Everyone is ignoring, and there is a huge, huge problem. The organizations fail, startups fail, marriages fail, relationship, personal relationship with parents fail. Everything fails because we do not focus on, and also relationship with Krishna fails because you're not investing. He's listening, but you're not investing. So it applies everywhere. It's all about relationships. And I said, if try to put yourself in somebody else's shoes, and as Bhagavad Gita says, don't speak rude words, but try to approach people and say hello, namaste, or whatever you have, Jai Shri Ram, Hare Krishna, whatever you have to say, just say it. And I think people are waiting for it. So we are surrounded by communication tools, and as Vivek said, we do not communicate, or we don't know how to communicate. So we'll end it here. Thank you for watching, and thank you, Vivek, for joining. And I really like your program. And so let's wish you the best, and we'll do more shows on Sathology for your programs also. Namaskar.
Thank you for inviting me and giving me the opportunity to say a few words. Looking forward to say more. Thank you.
Thank you.